I mean, 8-7 week one is not bad because week one is weird. It's like the start of the NFL season. Things are not like they were last season. They never are. Those teams that may have won the playoffs or gotten into the playoffs, there's a higher probability that they won't make the playoffs this year. Like, there will be at least 3 or 4 new teams in the playoffs every single NFL season. I just want you guys to know. I mean, minus probably the Chiefs and maybe the Chargers too. I mean, but everybody else is kind of a coin flip. I mean, even the Bengals, people were like so surprised that the Bengals lost on Sunday. And I really wasn't that surprised that the Bengals lost on Sunday because the Bengals almost didn't make the playoffs. Like, they were one game away from not making the playoffs. If you guys remember, like, their entry into the playoffs was based on teams losing the last 2 games of the entire NFL season. If they didn't, if somebody else would have won a game or 2, they wouldn't have been in the playoffs. That is how crazy and tight the AFC North was last year. It was the first and last place was 2 games, but we got the NFL picks for this specific week. Yeah, week one is always. I mean, the Bears. The Bears won, and they won pretty good, man. I gotta tell you, like, it was entertaining to watch that game in highlights because it was a rainy mess. I love those types of games. Those are the best types of games. This weekend or tonight, we have the Chiefs at home versus the Chargers. I am going with the Chiefs. It just makes sense. It's at home. If you've ever been to Arrowhead, it is nuts. It is loud. There's a reason why they win most of these games at home. Their home field advantage is just like Seattle's. It is nuts. I'm going with Kansas City tonight, although this is going to be probably the best game of this week. This is a fantastic game for Amazon to have. We got the Jets going to Cleveland for the Browns home game for the first time since 1993. The Cleveland Browns will say that they are 2-0. That's all I have to say about that. We got the Washington Commanders going to Detroit. Detroit looking pretty dang good. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Detroit, I think, is going to win this game. They're going to beat the Commanders. You got the Bucks going into New Orleans. I mean, the Bucks looked amazing on the road last week. There's no way they're going to lose this game. They looked fantastic on defense. On offense, I mean, Brady did look kind of old. I'm not going to lie to you on that. With all the weapons he had, he did look kind of old, but I think this week he'll look a lot better. The Panthers are going to New York against the Giants. I actually think the Panthers are going to win this game. I don't think, the Giants are a good team. Maybe. I'm still not sold on Daniel Jones. I think the Panthers win this game. You got the Steelers hosting the New England Patriots. I actually am going to go ahead and pick the Patriots to beat the Steelers and their own home. I think Mac Jones comes back and has a better game. Belichick does not lose 2 games in a row very often. I think that is, and then Mitch Trubisky. Come on now. You got the Jags hosting the Colts. This is going to be my upset special of the week, ladies and gentlemen. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna at home are gonna win this game. I don't know how, but I think Lawrence, their running back, and their defense somehow pulls it off and holds Jonathan Taylor to, sub 100, sub 110, and somehow the Jags find a way to win this game. You got the Dolphins going to Baltimore. Baltimore favored. They're at home. It's Lamar Jackson. He's trying to prove a point with his contract. I think this is going to be a really close game, but I think Baltimore does hold on. That defense is way too good. You got the Falcons versus the Rams. I'm going with the Rams here. The Rams are at home, although LA is not really a home game usually for any LA team, but I think the Falcons just they don't have enough firepower for them. You got the Seahawks versus the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers here. I don't think Geno Smith is going to do this again. Although I say Geno Smith won't have a bad year. I think he has talent around him. I know they're getting their rookie running back from injury back this week. But I still think the 49ers somehow pull this one off. We'll see, though. This is going to be an interesting game. If the 49ers go 0-2, what are they going to do about Jimmy G? You get the Bengals versus the Cowboys. I am going with an upset pick here, ladies and gentlemen. I got two of them this week. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game. I think they're going to go with the traditional running style attack, which we really should do. Like, they have Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott, probably a top 10 backfield in the NFL. For some reason, the Cowboys never I don't know why they don't run the ball as much as they do. I mean, they have Dak Prescott, amazing quarterback, in my opinion. It makes no sense. Higgins might be out. He's in the concussion protocol right now. I don't think he's going to make it back for this game. And I think Dallas has a pretty good secondary to cover their other two wideouts. I think the Cowboys win this game in a shocker. You got Denver hosting Houston. The Broncos are going to win this game. The Broncos lost this past week. I think Russell, it was facing against his old team is kind of what did him in on that. I strongly believe that Russell Wilson's going to look like Russell Wilson of normal in this game against the Texans. You got the Cardinals visiting the Raiders. I am going to go with the Raiders here. I think Vegas wins this game. I think the Cardinals have a lot of problems. I think they have a lot of old talent other than their quarterback, but I don't think they're that good. All right, the Bears versus the Packers. The Packers lost last week, but I think this is going to be a closer game than people think. I think Green Bay lost a lot of their talent, and I think this is going to be much, much closer than folks might predict. I think this is going to be a good game. Okay. We got the Titans against Buffalo. Buffalo's at home. I think the Titans are on their way out. I think Derrick Henry has kind of run its course, man. I think they've run him way too much. They've run him to the ground. I think Tannehill is, he's an all right quarterback, but he's older too. I think Buffalo is on the way up, and Tennessee is on their way down. And the final game, the Monday Night Football game, you got the Vikings going to Philly. I think Philly is going to start this season 2-0. I've said this last year. I think Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is going to prove that he's a really good quarterback this season. I think this is a very good Minnesota team. I think the Eagles are going to look fantastic. Those are my NFL picks for the week, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any complaints, don't bring them to me.